Okay, this is 3.2 pure. Uh, Given y, find y prime. Again, just differentiation, but of course using some different rules. Here, of course, we're going to use chain rule. 3x plus 1 to the power of 6. If you differentiate it, since there's more than one term under the power, you have to use chain rule. So you derive the outside, multiply the one inside. So derive the one outside, 6 goes down like this, right? What's the derivative of the inside? It's just 3. So multiplied by 3 plus 6x squared, its derivation is 12x. 1 times minus 5 is minus 5 بتروح x. You simplify this 18, it's going to be 18, 3x plus 1, power 5 plus 12x minus 5. Part B, 3x to the power 4 becomes 12x to the power of 3. 2 times minus 10 minus 20x. 2 over radical x is the same as 2 over x to the half, which is the same as 2x to the minus half. So minus half times 2 is minus 1, reduced by 1 is minus 3 over 2, which is the same as 12x cubed minus 20x minus 1 over x to the power 3 over 2. And you know that you have to simplify this. So it's going to be 12x cubed minus 20x minus 1 over square root of x cubed. But we don't write the second one, right? But since it's x cubed and cube is more than 2, you have to simplify it more. You can take x squared out. صح? This is the same as this. You can take this out. So you're going to get 12x cubed minus 20x minus 1 over x root x. Let me see, is this correct? Ah, they kept it like this. Is wrong. This is wrong. You're not allowed to do this. Part C. Okay, here you have a product. And when you have product, you have to use u prime v plus v prime u. So we're going to use the first derivative. What's the derivative of x squared plus 1? It's 2x, right? 2x. 1 doesn't get derived. V is root x squared minus 1. So let's keep it as x squared minus 1 to the power of half. Plus v prime u. V prime x squared minus 1. You want to derive x squared minus 1. It's x squared minus 1 to the power of half. How to derive this? If there's more than one term under the derivative, what do? You do chain rule. So 1 over 2 goes down. You derive the one outside. Reduced by 1 comes minus 1 over 2. Multiplied by the one inside. Derivative of x squared minus 1 without the power is just 2x. صح? Okay. So you're going to get 1 over 2 times 2, by the way, is just 1. X squared minus 1 to the power of half. So v prime is x squared minus 1 to the power of half. X squared minus 1 to the power of minus half is minus half. We simplify later and then multiplied by u. So x squared plus 1. We can't have negative power, so we're going to take it down. Okay. So it's going to be 2x x squared minus 1 to the power of half plus this x squared minus 1 goes down. So we're going to put x squared minus 1 to the power of half. You have x squared plus 1. Let's simplify even more. These halves, we want to change them into radicals, and this x, I want to distribute it inside. So it's going to be 2x radical x squared minus 1 plus, let's distribute this x inside, x cubed plus x over root x squared minus 1. Which, if I'm not wrong, can be simplified even more. But they use the common denominator. Okay. Yeah, they use the, okay. Okay, so they didn't keep it like this. They wanted to add it, get rid of it. So what did they do? They multiplied this one here by x squared minus 1. X squared minus 1. Because I'm sure you guys know that if you multiply radical by radical of the same thing, the radical cancels out, right? So basically, they wanted to add it, so they put it all over the same denominator, root x squared minus 1, to simplify even more, which is completely correct, huh? Root x squared minus 1 times root x squared minus 1 is x squared minus 1. You have 2x here. Then you have x cubed plus x over root x squared minus 1. Of course, this can be simplified even more. 2x inside, you get 2x cubed minus 2x plus x cubed plus x over root x squared minus 1. 2x cubed plus x cubed is 3x cubed minus 2x plus x over root x squared minus 1. That should be your final answer. Oh, here we go. Sorry, minus 2x plus x can be simplified to become 3x cubed minus x plus, shows the radical over radical x squared minus 1. Just simplification. I'm sure simplification is easy for you guys. Okay, this one here we're going to use quotient rule because we can't really simplify this. But before starting the quotient rule, I'm going to change the 1 down to x cubed minus 1 to the power of half. Quotient rule says it's u prime v minus v prime mu over v squared. Okay, let's see. This is x to the power of 3. Okay, so u prime is going to be 3x squared, right? Derive this one. Times v x cubed minus 1 to the power of half. Minus v prime u. Derivative of x cubed minus 1 to the power of half. You have to use chain rule, right? 1 over 2 goes down. Exponent becomes minus half. Times derivative of the inside, which is 3x squared. Right? So 3x squared times 1 over 2 x cubed minus 1 to the power of minus half times u x cubed over v squared radical x cubed minus 1 squared. Let's simplify this a bit. This stays like this, but we have to change the half into a radical, right? So let's change it into radical x cubed minus 1 minus this 3 multiplied by 1 over 2 is going to be 3 over 2 x squared, but we're also multiplying it by x cubed, right? So actually let's make it x to the power of 5. The x squared times x cubed becomes x5, and the 3 times 1 over 2 comes 3 over 2, but the minus is there, huh? And then this minus 1 over 2 power, we have to take it where? Down. So it's going to be x cubed minus 1 to the power of 1 over 2, which is just radical. Okay? This should be the answer. They took common denominator. Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah. Oh, I don't know why I'm forgetting to take common denominator. Okay, so again, let's simplify. Listen, when you want to take common denominator, only take it when you have like the same radical up and down. Because if I multiply by radical here, it's just going to cancel. That's why they're doing it, because it's very easy to multiply. Times. So multiply by radical x cubed minus 1, radical x cubed minus 1. What are you going to get? This x cubed minus 1, x cubed minus 1 is going to become 3x squared. Radicals cancel out, so x cubed minus 1 minus 3 over 2 x to the power of 5 over radical x cubed minus 1. This becomes what? 3x5 minus 3x2 minus 3 over 2 x5 over x3 minus 1. Okay, 3 minus 3 over 2 is 3 over 2. So it's going to be 3 over 2x5 minus 3x squared over root x cubed minus 1. They multiplied up and down by 2. Okay, that's completely fine. Okay. This answer isn't wrong though. But what they did is they got rid of this 2 by multiplying up and down by 2. If you multiply up and down by 2, it's going to cancel this 3x to the power of 5. It's going to make this 6x squared. Obviously, you're going to put a 2 down here. And this will be your final answer. You can compare it over here. Same thing. Oh, شو كيف جابوا cube? Oh, okay. I forgot about this here. Oh, I have to redo this. So honestly, يعني, I'm gonna repeat the simplification for this one because I got the wrong answer. So I'm just gonna continue from over here. It was v prime. So u prime v u prime. Let me see the question. U prime is obviously 3x squared. V is just this. minus v prime mu. V prime was x cubed minus 1 power of half becomes. Hold up. Yeah, so you get this when you do the rule, right? So let me simplify it again, because I think I forgot to use this. So it's going to be x cubed minus 1, because this half becomes radical, minus 3x squared times x cubed is 3x to the power of 5 over 2 radical x cubed minus 1. Because minus half means you have to take it down. With a half means radical, right? With a 2 is already down, huh? So it's like, you know what I mean? Okay, over radical x cubed minus 1 squared. So akid we have to simplify this. Okay, over here, it's important to know that the radical cancels with the square. So let's just rewrite this, clean it up a bit. Actually, you know what, I'll just, from here, I'll clean it up. And get rid of the radical, make it x cubed minus 1. طيب, I don't like this 2 over here, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply by 2 up and down. Okay, if I multiply by 2 up and down, I'm going to get 6x squared radical x cubed minus 1. And then this 2 cancels with this 2, so it's going to be 3x to the power 5. And I multiply it down as well, so it's going to be 2x cubed minus 1. Also, I forgot about this radical x cubed minus 1. So remember, it's over x cubed minus radical x cubed minus 1 now. Okay, again, I want to get rid of this radical x cubed minus 1. So what do? I multiply up and down by radical x cubed minus 1. So what's it going to be? Radical x cubed minus 1 times 6x squared is going to be 6x squared. Radical x cubed minus 1 times radical x cubed minus 1, they cancel out. So the square radical times radical is going to cancel out. It's going to be x cubed minus 1. And then this x cubed minus 1 cancels with this, minus 3x to the power 5 over 2x cubed minus 1 times radical x cubed minus 1. Oh, I think that's it here. Yani. You can distribute. You're gonna get 6x to the power 5 minus 6x squared minus 3x to the power 5 over x cubed minus 1 is x cubed minus 1 to the power of 1, right? Then radical x cubed minus 1 is actually the same as saying x cubed minus 1 to the power of half, right? And when you multiply power 1 times power half, it's the same as just adding powers 1 plus 1 over 2. So it's going to be 2x cubed minus 1 to the power of 3 over 2. And this is the same as saying, actually, let's simplify the top. 3x to the power 5 minus 6x squared over 2. 3 over 2 means 2 is the index. 3, the numerator always goes inside. This, in my opinion, is wrong. You should keep it like this. In the solution key, I don't know why they made it like this. Obviously, the top part you have to simplify it like I did here. But the denominator, you should keep it like this in your written part. Okay, I wouldn't. You're supposed to put it in simplest form. Question 14. By the way, the answer is here. Like I told you, you're not supposed to put, if the power is higher than the index, then it's not in simplest form. Find dy over dx for this. Obviously, use chain rule. It's derivative of outside times derivative of inside, so minus 10 x squared minus 6x to the power of reduced by 1 minus 11. Multiply by derivative of inside, 2 times x is 2x. 1 times minus 6 minus 6. You're going to get minus 10 times 2 is minus 20x. Minus 10 times minus 6 is plus 60. X squared minus 6x to the power of minus 11. Right? This one here, it can be written as 1 plus 3x squared to the power of 5 over 2. So 5 is your numerator, 2 is your index. So you want to derive this, again, if there's more than one term under the power, then you have to use chain rule. So take 5 over 2 down, 1 plus 3x squared. Reduce 5 over 2 by 1 becomes 3 over 2. Multiply with the derivative of the inside 1 doesn't get derived. 3x squared is 6x. 5 over 2 times 6x is 15x. And then 1 plus 3x squared to the power of 3 over 2. Yeah, صح, you can't keep shit. You can't keep here. You can't keep a negative power, so you have to take it down. It's gonna be minus 20x plus 60 over x squared minus 6x power of minus 11. As the positive 11. When it goes down, it becomes positive. Well, this one here, you can't keep a fraction, so it should be 15x radical 1 plus 3x cube. Again, like I told you guys, and I don't like it when the power inside is greater than the index. So if it were up to me, or even our teachers teach us like this x cube 1 plus 3x cube is the same as 1 plus 3x squared times 1 plus 3x. So you're supposed to take this one out. It's not in simplest form if the power inside is greater than the index. And مثلا, can you say radical 64 is in simplest form? No, it's 4 radical 4. Because 64 is 4 cubed, which is the same as 4 squared times 4. You take the 4 squared out, it becomes 4 root 4. So you can't see root 64 is in simplest form, can you? So you take 1 plus 3x outside, you're going to get 15x, 1 plus 3x, root 1 plus 3x. And you distribute this, you're going to get 15x plus 45x squared, root 1 plus 3x. Okay? The only problem is simplification. All the derivatives are just easy. Given f of x is this, what is f prime of minus 2? What you need to find f prime, 384 over x to the power of 4. We can't keep it in the denominator, so we have to take it up. Comes 384 x to the power of minus 4. Derive minus 4 down. I'm going to use a calculator for this. Mode 1. Minus 4 times 384. Then reduce it by 1. Becomes minus 5. We want minus 2, so you're going to go take your calculator. Minus 1536. X is minus 2 to the power of minus 5. 48, is that correct? Yes, it is. Okay, these questions are a bit easier. No more simplification وهالهبل كله. If, by the way, if they tell you in the written what is equal to f prime of minus 2, there is no need to fully simplify f prime of x. يعني you get f prime of x, don't simplify it so you don't waste time, huh? Given f of x is this, what is f prime of 1? Again, we have to derive. Since there's more than one term under the power, you have to use chain rule. So derivative outside times derivative inside. Derivative outside, take 4 down, comes x squared plus 4x to the power of 3, because you reduce by 1, multiply by derivative inside, x squared becomes 2x, 4x becomes 4. 4 times 2x plus 4 is 8x plus 16 times x squared plus 4x cubed. We want f prime of 1. By the way, like, see, you didn't have to like distribute the 4 here, like I told you. F prime of 1, you substitute 8 times 1 plus 16. 1 squared plus 4 times 1 cube. You get 3000. Let me just check that. 8 plus 16. 1 plus 4 cube. Yeah, 3000. Given f of x is this, what is f prime of 3? Okay, here, like I told you, whenever you have a number multiplied by something else, guys, please, when you want to derive, keep that number on the side, okay? If you're watching this for the periodic, it's probably going to be one of these g's that will come in the written. Whether it's g1 or g2, honestly, I think g2. I don't know for sure, but make sure you know both. If it's a g, then you must know it. Anyway, so 24 times x cubed minus 11. This x cubed minus 11, what we're going to rewrite it as? X cubed minus 11 power of a half, right? Okay, now we derive. What we derive? We derive this and multiply by 24, right? That's the rule that we use when we have like a number multiplied by it to make our life easier. Okay, this half, since there's more than one term under the power, we use chain rule. What is it going to be? 24 on the side multiplied by half goes down. Derivative of the outside is x cubed minus 11. The power of reduce half by 1 is minus half. Multiply by derivative of the inside. What's x cubed becomes 3x squared, right? And 11 doesn't get derived. So you're going to get, this is your derivative. They said f prime of 3. So like I told you guys in the exam, don't waste time. If it's in your written, just بسرعة substitute x cubed is 3 cubed minus 11 to the power of minus half times 3 times x squared. So you get 81, is that correct? Yeah, 81. Where are we now? Yeah, 18. See, we're going a bit quicker with these. Given f of x is this, what whole number is f prime of minus 2? Again, we have to derive, but we have x up and down, and we can't really simplify it, so we must use quotient rule, which is u prime v minus v prime u over v squared. Let's go. U prime v, the first one, 3x squared derived is 6x. V is 1 plus x, right? Derive because 2 times 3, 6, reduced by 1x. Minus v prime u, so derivative of v prime. 1 doesn't get derived, derivative of x is just 1. U is 3x squared over v squared, so 1 plus x squared. Like I told you, they're not asking you to simplify. If you can simplify, we can continue, but now we don't want to simplify. We want to substitute minus 2. So بسرعة بتاخد الكالكوليتر تحط fraction 6 times minus 2 1 plus minus 2 minus 1 times 3 times minus 2 squared over 1 plus minus 2 squared. 0, is that correct? 0. Of course, in the exam, you can't leave it like this, huh? You have to say 6 times minus 2, 1 plus minus 2, and so on and so forth, okay? Now, the top questions, if you're watching this for the periodic on October 14, then skip these. If you're watching for finals, you must do these. Find the gradient of this at the point where x equals 3. Okay, this is very easy. We just need to substitute and, sorry, we need to derive and substitute x3. This x squared minus 4x, we take it up and make it x squared minus 4x to the power of minus 1. Derive this. Minus 1 goes down. Do you need to use chain rule? Yes, you do. You have a power and you have more than one term under the power, so you must use chain rule. So it's going to be 9. We take it to the side. Minus 1 goes down. X squared minus 4x to the power of, reduced by 1, minus 2. Multiply by derivative of the inside. X squared becomes 2x. Minus 4x becomes minus 4. Okay, we need to know at the point where x equals 3. So basically, they're saying f prime of 3. So بسرعة بتاخد الكالكوليتر, don't even waste time. But you have to write the gradient at x equals 3 is the value of the derivative at that point. Okay, you have to say this stuff. Okay, don't just like write numbers and expect your corrector to understand what you're saying. Okay, please don't any. You're gonna lose marks on yourself, and I'm giving you my advice. Times 3 minus 4. You get minus 2. Yes, minus 2. Curve has equation y equals k over x. Given that the gradient of the curve is minus 1 when x equals 4, find the constant k. This might seem a bit complicated, but it's really very easy. They're saying the gradient is minus 1 at x equals 4. So basically, y prime at x equals 4 is equal to minus 1. So let's find y prime. Let's derive. K over x. Imagine k is a number. Let's say it's any number. Let's just imagine it as a number. If this was a number, how would you derive? We'd obviously take x up and make it x to the power of minus 1, right? How would you derive this? You take minus 1 multiplied by k and reduce the exponent of x by 1. It will be minus 2. And you can't keep your answer like this. We need to, if it's negative, we take it down. So negative 1 times k is negative k over x squared. Okay. We know that y prime at x equals 4 is minus 1. So when I substitute x equals 4, I get what? Minus 1. And if you solve this equation, you're going to get k equals 16. So simple. K equals 16. A curve has an equation this. Show that the gradient of the curve is never negative. When we say gradient of the curve, that always means y prime. They're saying never negative. That means this y prime is always greater than 0. We have to prove this. Okay, let's see. Let's derive. You're going to get y prime is equal to, or f of prime of x. 2 times 2, 6 becomes x squared. 2 times 2 minus 4, 2 times minus 2 minus 4 comes x. 1 times 5 is 5, 8 doesn't get derived. We need to show that 6x squared minus 4x plus 5, we need to show that it's 2 greater than 0. Let's أول شيء try and see if this has any solutions. Okay, see, does it equal 0? Does it cross the x-axis? Does it go, quadratics? Do they go down into the negatives? Let's see. If you try factoring it, like, it's not enough to just put it in your calculator and see if it gives you an answer or no. You have to show that the discriminant, remember quadratics, minus b plus minus radical b squared minus 4ac over 2a. If you actually had a positive discriminant, then you would have solutions. If there's a negative discriminant, that means, of course, there's no solution, because there's no negative radical, unless it's a complex number, of course. So what you're required to find here is the discriminant b squared minus 4ac. B squared in this case would be minus 4 squared minus 4 times 6 times 5. And obviously this is equal to a negative number, which I think is minus 104, which is less than 0. Hence, the quadratic is always what? How do you know if it's always positive or always negative? Let's see. The leading term. Remember, we have ax squared plus bx plus c. Depending on the coefficient of a, we know if it's going like this or if it's going like this. Right? طيب. Since it's positive, then akid is going to be, it's going to look something like this. Okay? It's going to be opening up. So the quadratic is always positive, since delta less than 0 and a is positive. This is a 6. Okay, here shows part of the curve, this curve, which crosses the x-axis at a and the y-axis at b. Okay, the normal to the curve at a crosses the y-axis at c. Show that the equation of the line AC is 5x plus 6y equals 5. So we know that the line AC is obviously the normal. They want us to show, basically find the equation of the normal. How do you do that? First, find your point. Let's see, we want, with respect to the curve, it's going to be point A. And point A, I think they're saying it crosses the x-axis. That means y equals 0, right? So basically, equate this to 0, you can find point A. They gave the y, 3 minus 15 over 2x plus 3 equals 0. Let's make our life easier. We're going to get 15 over 2x plus 3, take it to the other side, is equal to 3, right? And like I told you, for simplification, you can always swap these two, okay? So you're going to get 15 over 3 equals 2x plus 3, which is very easy, gets you 2x plus 3 equals 5, and you're going to get, obviously, x equals 1. So that means the point we have is 1 comma 0. Why is it comma 0? Because it's crossing the x-axis. يعني شو هالهبل أكيد it's going to be y is equal to 0. Okay. Step 2 is to derive and plug in that x to find the slope. But since we're talking about the normal, نحن we're saying that the slope of the normal is equal to minus 1 over the slope of the tangent. So that means we're going to find the slope أول شيء by substituting and then do minus 1 over that slope. Right? Let's plug in 1 into our derivative. What is our derivative? First, we need to find our derivative, right? So let's see. Let's continue over here. 3 minus 15 over 2x plus 3. We know that 3 doesn't get derived, so we're going to cancel it out. Minus 15 over 2x plus 3 is the same as minus 15, 2x plus 3 minus 1, صح? Minus 1 times minus 15 is 15. You have to use chain rule, because more than one term under the power. And it's going to be 2x plus 3 to the power of minus 2 times derivative inside, which is just 2. Okay? So you're going to get 30, 2x plus 3 to the power of minus 2. Actually, if you have a written part, it would be best to show that the negative power goes down. Okay? Okay. We were trying to find it at x equals 1, صح? So let's see. X equals 1. 30 over 2 times 1 plus 3. We square all of this. You get 6.5, yeah? So that the slope of the tangent is equal to 1.25. 2. It means 6.5, 6 over 5. 1.2. Now we know the slope of the normal is minus 1 over that tangent, over the slope of the tangent. So minus 1 over 1.2. So minus 1 divided by the answer, you get minus 5 over 6. So the slope of the normal is minus 5 over 6. What's the third step? It's y equals mx plus b. So we just substitute our coordinates. 0 is my y. My m is minus 5 over 6. The x is 1. And then find the b. Let's see. Minus 5 over 6 times 1, b. You take, obviously, you're going to get the b is equal to 5 over 6. So what are we going to do? We get our equation is y is equal to minus 5 over stop. Minus 5 over 6, sorry. X plus 5 over 6. What do? We always multiply the whole, when you have over 6 over 6, we multiply the whole equation by 6. Okay, and now what do? We take, they want us to put it together, the x and the y, so we take x there. You're going to get 5x plus 6y equals 5. How do I put the segment over? Okay. Part B, they say find the length of BC. BC, obviously here. Length, when we say it's distance formula, right? So we need to say, actually, you don't even need distance formula. You can just do the y of c minus y of b, since they both have x equals 0. It's obvious. We know we need to find point B and point C. At both point B and point C, x equals 0 because it's crossing the y-axis. And that's pretty obvious. At point B, we're going to plug in x equals 0 into, obviously, the curve, right? Into the curve here. At point C, we're going to plug in x equals 0 into the line that we just found, right? So let's start with the line. I'm going to go back here. When x equals 0, you're going to get y is equal to 0 plus 5 over 6. So you're going to get it's 0 comma 5 over 6. I'm using this form of the equation because it's easier here. You're going to have to put 6y, y. Okay, you're going to get the same answer, but it's just faster for me. I quickly cancel it out and just see 5 over 6. So this is y of C. How about y of B? We substitute 0 into the equation of the curve. So it's going to be 3 minus 15 over 3. Why 15 over 3? Because 2 times 0 cancels. You can just get 15 over 3. You're going to get minus 2. So it's going to be 0 comma minus 2. How do you find the distance between these two? Obviously, if you were to get the written part, actually, I want to see the answer key if they use the formula or no. Yeah, you don't need to use the distance formula. Since they both have x0, you can just subtract the y coordinates. So 5 over 6 minus 2. Because distance is always positive. If you get a negative answer, you just make your answer positive. You're going to get 17 over 6. You should get 17 over 6. Yes. Okay. These are a lot of tops. SAT questions, I'll skip them. Because, nobody does SAT questions. Okay. 3 questions more. A curve has equation. This and P is a point on the curve. Find the equation of the tangent. Find the angle that this tangent makes with the x-axis. Okay, this is an interesting one. I have never seen a question like this, but I guess we'll solve. Find the equation to the tangent. Okay, what's the first step? Find your point given. First step done. Second step, derive and plug in to find the slope. Let's see. Derive this. It's the same as 10 3x minus 4 to the power of minus 1. Please don't put y prime equals this, okay? This is very, very, and you'll lose a mark. Let's say y equals this. So what's y prime equal to? Derive this, put 10 on the side, minus 1 goes down. Since it's more than one term, reduce by 1, huh? And since it's more than one term, we have to also derive the inside, right? So use chain rule, and you're going to get 3. Okay, substitute 3 here. You're going to get 10 times minus 1 into 3. And what are we substituting? Yeah, x equals 3, so yeah. 3 minus 4 to the power of minus 2 times 3. Minus 6 over, is that minus 6 over 5? Slope, yeah, minus 6 over 5. I don't know, it felt wrong. So slope is minus 6 over 5 of the tangent. And we want tangent, not normal. 3, we just do y equals mx plus b. What we have 3 comma 2. What's my y? 2. What's my slope? Minus 6 over 5. What is my x? 3. What's my b? We find. Okay, solve this equation. You're gonna get minus 18. You're gonna get 10 28 over 5. B is equal 28 over 5. So the equation of the tangent is going to be y is equal to the slope minus 6 over 5 x plus 28 over 5. Honestly, keep it like this. Usually we always keep it like this unless they ask us, like in the previous part, to put it in this form. Then you multiply by 5 and take everything to the same side. Let me see, is this what they got? Yes. Okay. And then he said find the angle this tangent makes with the x-axis. So I'm looking at the answer key because honestly, part B, I didn't, obviously, if you, from physics, if you want to find the angle, like, عندك هيك, you want this angle, you do shift tan y over x, right? طب, okay. نحنا, we have the slope. And you guys from grade 8, grade 7, know that the slope is actually rise over run. It's the change in y2 minus y1 over the change in x. So you can just do shift tan of the slope we have of the tangent, which is minus 6 over 5. Okay, and what did they get? 129.8. Then question 24. The equation of the curve is this. Show that the equation to the normal is this. Similar to question 22. The equation to the normal, first step, find your point. We got it. Second step, slope of the normal is equal to minus 1 over slope of tangent. صح؟ ماشي. The third step is use y equals mx plus b. طيب. Let's find the slope of the tangent. Let's أول شيء derive. 7 minus 9 over x. 7 gets cancelled. Minus 9 over x is يعني minus 9x to the power of minus 1. Derive this. Minus 1 times minus 9 is 9. It becomes x minus 2. صح? Okay. This is your derivative. We want to substitute x equals 3 into the derivative to find the slope of the tangent. 9 times 3 to the power of minus 2. You should get 1. I'm pretty sure you get 1. So you get 1. That's your gradient. But احنا بدنا slope of the normal. This is the slope of the tangent. So we do minus 1 over 1. You do minus 1 over the slope of tangent. So minus 1 over 1 is minus 1. So now we do y equals mx plus b. So finish this step. So m normal is equal to this. Use y equals mx plus b. 4 is equal to minus 1 times x, which is 3, plus b we're trying to find. So you're going to get b equals to 7. So y is equal to minus x plus 7. They want you to take x and y on the same side. So you take this guy here. You get x plus y is equal to 7. Okay. Then they said this normal meets the curve again at point Q. Find the coordinates of point Q. Since they're saying the normal meets the curve, that means the y of the normal is equal to the y of the curve. The y of the normal is equal to this. Not this. It's equal to this. So minus x plus 7, that's the y of the normal, equals the y of the curve, which is 7 minus 9 over x. Okay, first thing we do, multiply by x on both sides, because I don't like having it in the bottom, okay? You can get minus, you multiply by x here. You're going to multiply by x here. You're going to get minus x squared plus 7x equals 7 times x, 7x, minus 9 over x times x is minus 9. You're going to get 7x cancels with 7x. So you're going to get minus x squared equals minus 9, which is the same as x squared equals 9, which is the same as x equals plus minus 3. So we already know that it meets at x equals 3. So what do we want? X equals minus 3. Okay, x equals minus 3. Did they say find the x coordinate, or they said coordinate? So we want the y value as well. Okay, you substitute this minus 3 into either one, صح? To stay on the safe side, let's substitute it into the curve. But logically, you should be able to substitute into either one. 7 minus 9 over minus 3. You're going to get 10. So that means it's minus 3, comma 10. For the length of PQ, we want the distance between 3, 4 and minus 3, 10. So what we're going to use the distance formula is equal to x2 minus x1 squared. So 3 minus minus 3 squared. Plus y2 minus y1 squared. 4 minus 10 squared. So you're going to get 10. No, you're not gonna get 10. You're gonna get radical 72, which is 6 root 2. Okay. The equation of the curve is this. I show that the equation is this. Thought we did this, yeah, pretty much. Okay, let's just do this one more time. The equation of the curve is this. Show that the equation of the normal. Find the equation of the normal. First is find the point. We have that. Second is derive and plug in the slope so that we know that m normal is equal to minus 1 over m tangent. M tangent is going to be, let's derive, 7 gets cancelled, 3x becomes 3, minus x squared becomes minus 2x. Right, guys, at this stage, I'm deriving fast because you guys know how to derive. Plug in 2, so it's going to be 3 minus 2 times 2, which is minus 1. So the slope is minus 1. Now we know that m of the normal is equal to minus 1 over the slope of the tangent minus 1, so it's equal to 1. Slope of normal is 1. طيب. After you find slope of normal, what do you do? Y equals mx plus b. Very easy, guys. These steps should take you less than 1 minute. Y is 9, slope is 1, x is 2, b, you solve this equation, you get 7. Okay, so that means the equation of the 9 is x plus 7, and that you basically showed. Given that the normal meets the coordinate axis at points A and B, find the coordinates of the midpoint of AB. When they say coordinate axis and they want the x-axis and y-axis. Guys, these are very important later for when you do graphing of polynomials. You should know how to find both of these, huh? At the x-axis, y equals 0. At the y-axis, x equals 0. It's always easier to find your y-axis first. Okay, let's see. X plus 7. X equals 0, substitute x equals 0. You're going to get y equals 7, so that means the point is 0, 7. Let's call this point A. Point B would be at the y-axis, and at the y-axis, at the x-axis, and the x-axis y is equal to 0. So x plus 7 is equal to y, which is 0. So you get x equals minus 7. So you're going to get minus 7, comma y, which is 0 at the x-axis. So you have AB, which is this. Find the midpoint. So we found the coordinates, and find the midpoint of AB. Midpoint M is equal to x1 plus x2 over 2, plus, as the comma, y1 plus y2 over 2. x1 is 0, x2 is minus 7, y1 is 7, y2 is 0. So you're going to get minus 3.5, comma 3.5. Let's check this. Yes, it is. Find the coordinates of the point at which the normal meets the curve again. Yani y of normal equals y of curve. Y of normal is x plus 7. Y of curve is 7 plus 2x minus x squared. 7 cancels with 7. You're going to get, move the x there, or no, let's move everything there. You're going to get x squared plus x minus 3x equal to 0. So x squared minus 2x is equal to 0. So you're going to get x out, x minus 2 is equal to 0. So at x equals 0 and at x equals 2. So we already have x equals 2 from the question. We don't want to meet again. So at x equals 0, and they said the coordinates, so we need the y at x equals 0. So substitute y here as substitute x as 0. 7 plus 3 times 0 minus x minus 0 squared. You're going to get 7. So at 0, comma 7. Okay. There you go. We're skipping sad questions. Let's go to 4.1. We have 2 pages. 2 easy pages, inshallah. The volume V increases at a rate of 4 centimeter cube per second. So they gave you dV over dt. Find the rate at which the radius increases when r equals 2. So they want dr over dt and when the r equals 2 centimeters. The way we do it, always. What do we want? dr over dt. What do we have? dv over dt. What do I multiply dv over dt by to get dr over dt? Obviously, we need to cancel this dv. So we're going to put it down here. What do we need up? dr. Okay. Can I find dr over dv? Let me see. Now we're talking about the volume of a sphere. The volume of a sphere is 4 over 3 pi r cubed. If you derive this, you're actually going to get dv over dr. But now we want dr over dv. Isn't dr over dv just the reciprocal of dv over dr? Can't you just flip it and you're going to get dr over dv? Yes. So if you derive dv over dr, you're going to get 4 pi r squared. 3 times 4 over 3 is 4. Reduced by 1 comes pi r squared. This is dv over dr. Now I want dr over dv. So it's just the same as just flipping this upside down. So dr over dv is the reciprocal of dv over dr. So it's just 1 over 4 pi r squared. For those of you who don't know what the reciprocal means, the reciprocal of 2 over 3 is 3 over 2. Just flip it upside down. Okay? So this is dr over dv. dv over dt is how much given as 4, right, from the question. So 4. Okay, and they want dr over dt when r equals 2, so let's just substitute fast. 4 times 1 over 4 pi times 2 squared. You're gonna cancel 4 with 4, you're gonna get 1 over 4 pi. Is this, oh, I don't know, I feel like this is wrong. Oh no, it's correct, 1 over 4 pi. We'll put the unit up, please, just tiny. Centimeter per second. If you're talking about radius, it's centimeter. If you're talking about volume, it's centimeter squared. If you're talking about area, it's centimeter. If you're talking about volume, it's centimeter cube. If you're talking about area, it's centimeter squared. The volume V is given by the expression this. Okay, where h is the depth, water is pouring at the rate of 90 centimeter cube per second. So they gave you dV over dt is 90. Find the rate at which the depth of the water is increasing. So they want depth. Depth is height, right? See, h is the depth. So they want the rate of h, so dh over dt. That's what we want. What do we have? dv over dt. What do we multiply dv over dt by to get dh over dt? We need to cancel dv, so we put dv down, and we dh up, so you get dh over dv. What is, after you get this, you see what is the formula you have. You have v equals 12h cubed. So if you derive this, you're going to get dv over dh. So now we want dh over dv, so what do? We just get what this is and flip it upside down and find the reciprocal, right? What is dv over dh? If you derive this, you get 36 h squared. We want dh over dv, so what do? You just take this, find the reciprocal of it. dv over dt we said is 90. dh over dv is the reciprocal of dv over dh, so it's going to be 1 over 36 h squared. H is 3, so 90 times 1 over 36 times 9, because 3 squared is 9. You should get 5 over 18. If f of x is equal to this, estimate f of 5.01 using f prime of x. What is the rule? The rule is sigma is sigma delta y over delta x is equal to dy over dx, right? ماشي. we're seeing the change of y. When I'm saying f prime of x, you can say delta f if you want. Okay, it doesn't really matter. Let's see. We're talking about 5.01. What does 5.01 mean? You're going from 5 to 5.01. Always take the closest one. طيب. نحن we want change in f, so we're going to multiply. We're going to change it a bit. We're going to multiply by delta x over on the other side. So it can be dy over dx times delta x. طيب, okay. What is the change in f in this case? It's f of 5.01 final minus f of 5 equals the derivative. What's the derivative? 2 times 2, 4. Reduce by 1x minus 3. So 4x minus 3 times change in x. How much is the change in x? You're going from 5 to 5.01, so it's going to be 0.01. What do we want? We want f of 5.01. So what do? We just take f of 5 to the other side. So f of 5.01 is equal to f of 5 plus, right? Plus, it was minus, so it comes plus. 4x minus 3. What are we saying? We always take the original value of x, right? What's the original value? 5. So you substitute x with 5. 4 times 5 minus 3 times 0.01. What is f of 5? Let's go back. Substitute x as 5. 2 times 5 squared minus 3 times 5. You're going to get 50 minus 15, 35. So f of 5 is 35. So f of 5.01 is equal to 35 plus 4 times 5 is 20. 20 minus 3 is 17 times 0.01. So f of 5.01 equal to, this is equal to 35.17. Okay, not equal to, you say approximately. Okay, this, I don't know why, but I feel like they're gonna get this for you in the written. Jacob has, like one of the parts. 35.17. The radius of the sphere is increasing at a rate of 4 over pi centimeter per second. So they gave you the change in the radius dr over dt. It's 4 over pi. صح. When the radius is 3, the rate of change of the volume, they want the change of volume, so dv over dt. What do I have? dr over dt. What do I multiply dr over dt by to get dv over dt? Cancel obviously dr. And what do I need up? dv. Now you look at the formula you have. V equals 4 over 3 pi r cubed. They actually gave it to you. If you derive this, what do you get? dv over dr. So perfect. Here you don't need to get any reciprocal. It's given directly. When you derive this, you get, this is cube, huh? 4 pi r squared. I'm not gonna explain how anymore. Quickly. Dr over dt is 4 over pi. dv over dr is 4 pi r squared. But we're saying at r equals 3. So 4 pi times 3 squared. So 4 over pi times 36 pi. Because 3 squared is 9, 9 times 4, 36. Pi with pi, you get 144. I think 144. 144. A particle P on these ones. Oh, okay. I'm gonna come back to this one, but honestly, I feel like this will be written on Monday. Very, very, very high feeling this is gonna be written on Monday, if you're watching this video, for the periodic. A particle P moves along the x-axis so that at any time its displacement x of t is this. Find an expression for the velocity. Okay. This one and this one and something to do with the local maximum or minimum. Definitely. But I have a huge feeling she's gonna get this. I don't know why. This one I'm not so sure, but I don't know. I feel like this one here, she's gonna get it. Anyway, find an expression for the velocity. Velocity is equal to derivative. Write it like this: dx over dt. Okay, so let's derive it. T cubed becomes 3t squared. 8t squared minus 8t squared becomes minus 16t. 21t becomes 21. 18 doesn't get derived. So this is vt. Please write it like this, okay? Find the values of t for which the particle is at rest. And when the particle at rest, that means v equals 0. صح? So let's see, equate this to 0. 3t squared minus 16 t plus 21. Just بسرعة. Let's just put it on our calculator. 3 minus 16, 21. 3 and 7 over 3. So at t equals 3 seconds, t equals 7. You have to say equals 0. T equals 7 over 3 seconds. Okay. And the distance of P from O at those times. So at t equals 3, what is the distance? And they're asking you to find x of 3, right? How much is that? T cube, you just put it's too long. I'm just gonna put it in my calculator. Let's substitute t cube, so 3 cube minus 8 3 squared plus 21 times 3 minus 18. Please write it like this, huh? Like write what I just wrote here. Okay? You get 0. And then distance at x 7 over 3 equal to what? Let's just substitute all of this with 7 over 3 just put a cube here. This is the same as 7 over 3 cube, huh? 4 over 27. So let me just double check this answer. What is this? Yeah, x3 is 0 and 7 over 3, 4 over 27. Easy. Find the two values of t for which the particle is at O and the distance traveled by P between these times. This has two parts. The first part is easy, but the second part بدها شوية تفكير. Okay, for the first part, for the particles at O, so when x equals 0. صح? So just equate this to 0 and see what your two solutions are. It's a cubic, so 1 minus 8, 21 minus 18 equals 0. So you get 2 and 3. So at x equals 2 seconds and x equals 3 seconds. As I'm recording, I just realized that I shouldn't be using equation mode because the calculators, non-integral calculators, don't have equation mode. So obviously we can equate it to 0, but you need to solve this manually, knowing that we have x equals 0 one time for when x equals 0 is one time is equal to 3. So that means t minus 3 is a root, right? So t minus 3 is a root of this. صح? Of t cubed minus 8t squared plus 21t minus 18. Back to grade 10. How do you solve a cubic? You have to take t minus 3 out. So you have to divide by t minus 3. I like using synthetic division. 1 minus 8, 21 minus 18. You arrange your coefficients, and then you start dividing. Take 1 down, 1 times 3, 3. Minus 8 plus 3 is minus 5. And minus 5 times 3, minus 15. 21 minus 15, 6. 6 times 3, 18. 8 minus 18 plus 18, 0. That means you get 1t squared minus 5t plus 6. This is what's left. Then you can solve this by equating it to 0. You're going to get t minus 3, t minus 2. And we already have t minus 3 as a root, so the other root we get is t equals 2 seconds. That's how you solve without a calculator, and this is extremely important. For the second part, the distance traveled by p between these two times. So between t equals 2 and t equals 3. This is a very important part. You need to know how it goes, okay? Extremely, extremely important. Let's investigate the velocity between these 2 points. Let's equate it. Let's investigate it. Now we know the velocity is this quadratic, and its two roots are 3 and 7 over 3, right? So 7 over 3 and 3. 0, 0. In between the roots, the sign is always negative. After the roots, it's positive. Okay. We're saying at 2. At 2, the velocity between 2 and 3 is negative. So that means the particle is slowing down, right? My bad. I mean, 2 is before 7 over 3. It's over here, right? The position at 2 is 0. We know, however, the position at 7 over 3. Let's draw a number line. This is xc. This is the x. 0. We know at 2 seconds, it's over here. Then at 7 over 3 seconds, which we found earlier, it's at 4 over 27. So over here at 4 over 27, at 7 over 3 seconds. Then what happened? It decreased. So it went 4 over 27 until 3 seconds. And what's the position at 3 seconds? We also found it's 0. So it also goes back to here. So it goes here, then it goes here. What's the distance traveled here? 4 over 27 plus 4 over 27, which is 8 over 27. That's it. Okay. The displacement of a moving object is given by x of t is this, where x is in meters and t is in seconds. Find its velocity after 2 seconds. So find v of 2. We need to find v of t awal. How do we find that? 1 over 3t cubed, 3 times 1 over 3 is 1. Reduced by 1t squared, 6t becomes 6. Okay, after 2 seconds, plug in 2, yani v of 2. So it's 2 squared plus 6, which is 10. It's acceleration at t equals 5. So again, we need at. Okay, so we derive again. T squared plus 6 becomes 2t. Okay, at 5 seconds, it's 2 times 5, which is 10 meter per second squared. Please put your units. Please put your units. Please put your units. That's 3 times I said. Please put your units. That's the 4th time I said it. It's average acceleration from t equals 2 to t equals 5. When you say a average, it's v final minus v initial over time final minus time initial. Right? Okay. Velocity final at 5 seconds. We don't have it, let's find it. So v of 5 is equal to 5 squared plus 6, which is 31. So final velocity is 31. Initial velocity at 2 seconds, we actually found it's 10. Divided by 5 minus 2, which is 3. So you get 21 over 3, which is 7 meter per second squared. T1 acceleration is 0, so you want to find acceleration of time equals 0, so 2t equals 0, so t equals 0 seconds. Let's see. Yes, okay. 7 is very important, okay? We're almost done actually, 4 more questions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more questions, sorry. You have this curve, find the derivative. Derivative is very easy. What do we change? It becomes 6, 4 minus 3x to the power of minus half. لا hold up, شو minus half قصدي minus 1 ها. We need to derive this. Since it's more than one term under the power, we must use chain rule. So take 6 to the side and derive. Minus 1 goes down. 4 minus 3x to the power of minus 2. Multiply by the derivative. The inside 4 doesn't get derived. Minus 3x becomes minus 3. You're going to get minus 18. No, plus 18. Because 6 times minus 1 times minus 3 is positive 18. 4 minus 3x to the power of minus 2. Obviously, we need to keep it in simplest form because they're asking for the derivative. So it's 18 over 4 minus 3x squared. A point moves along this curve. As the point passes through the point A, the x-coordinate is increasing at a rate of 0.9 units per second. So the x over dt is 0.9. And the y-coordinate is increasing at 0.2. So dy over dt is 0.2. Find the possible x-coordinates of point A. See here. You have dy over dx, you have dx over dt, you have dy over dt. You want my honest opinion? You need to somehow see how the derivatives cancel. Now we want the possible x coordinates. So logically, you're going to say dx over dt is equal to the one that we have, dy over dt, multiplied by what? I obviously need to get rid of dy, so I'm going to put dy here. And I need dx up, so it's dx over dy. What do I have? Dy over dx. So isn't dx over dy, just flip this upside down, the reciprocal of this? Yes. Dx over dt is 0.9. Dy over dt is 0.2. Dx over dy is the reciprocal of this, so 4 minus 3x squared over 18. So this you can just do it very easily. You're gonna get, let's divide by 0.2 on the other side. So you're gonna get 0.9 divided by 0.2, 4.5. So 4 minus 3x squared over 18 is 4.5. Multiply 4.5 by 18. 81. So 4 minus 3x squared equals 81. So you're going to get 4 minus 3x squared root both sides equals plus minus 9, right? So you're going to get minus 3x equals positive 9 minus 4 is 5. And then minus 3x equals minus 9 minus 4, which is minus 13. You're going to get two solutions. X equals minus 5 over 3. And x is equal to 13 over 3. Let me see, is this correct? Yes. Okay. هلا section 4.3 5 questions على السريع نخلصهم. Consider the function given by this. Using the second derivative test, identify each of the extreme values of the function is local or minimum or maximum. Find the intervals on which the function is You know what? Honestly, okay, these two she gets them computer, definitely. She got this one computer. Honestly, I think she's either gonna get this for 4.3 or the one we're doing right now. One of these, either 8 or 12. But make sure you know all. They're pretty much the same thing. But I think this one, because it has inflection points of concavity, I think she might want to test you on concavity. Using second derivative test, identify if it's local minimum or maximum. What's the first thing we need to know? What are the stationary points? What do we do? F prime of x equal to 0. What's f prime of x in this case? F prime of x is equal to 6x squared, because 3 times 2, 6, 6 reduced by, and blah, blah, blah. X cubed reduced by 1 is x squared. 2 times 3, again 6. X squared reduced by 1 is x. 1 times minus 36, minus 36 reduced by 1 minus 3x. Okay. We need to equate this to 0. Well, since we don't have a calculator for the equation mode, we're just going to get used to it fast. So it's going to be 6x squared plus x minus 6 equals 0. How do you factor this? You can use quadratic formula, or you can just factor it. Quadratic formula, for those who still don't know for some reason, is this. Minus b plus minus radical b squared minus 4ac over 2a. You want to factor this, you can just get which numbers multiply up to get 6, but subtract to get 1, the middle term. Obviously 3 and 2. So you're going to get x plus 3, x minus 2. So you're going to get x equals minus 3, x equals 2. We need to find the point. Okay, it's always better to find the point. So find the y coordinate. So at x equals minus 3, what's f of minus 3? It's 2 times minus 3 cubed plus 3 times minus 3 squared minus 36 times minus 3 plus 1. Let's put that in our calculator. 2 times minus 3 cubed plus 3 times minus 3 squared minus 36 times minus 3 plus 1. 82. So minus 3 comma 82. And x equals 2. Just substitute all of this with 2. Minus 43. So your 2 points are 2 comma 43, as the minus 43, and minus 3 comma 82. Let's see. Halla, we're going to use the second derivative test to identify whether it's a minimum or a maximum. F prime prime of x, we need to find it. If it's greater than 0, it's a minimum. If it's less than 0, it's a maximum. Let's find what's f prime prime of x. You need to derive again. 6 times 2, 12. Reduced by 1, x. 1 times 6, 6. Reduced by 1, minus 3x. Minus 36 doesn't get derived. Let's see. We're now going to substitute. Case 1. F prime prime of minus 3 is equal to 12 times minus 3 plus 6, which is obviously less than 0. Hence, minus 3 comma 82 is a local maximum. F prime prime of 2 is equal to 12 times 2 plus 6, which is greater than 0. Hence, 2 comma minus 43 is a local minimum. Okay. We did part A. Part B. Find the intervals on which it's concave up and concave down. So I need to know when is f prime prime of x. Concave up means greater than 0, and when is f prime prime of x less than 0. Let's see. When is it greater than 0? What's f prime prime of x? 12x plus 6. 12x plus 6 greater than 0 for what? A minus 6 over 12. X greater than minus 1 over 2. And it's less than 0 if you solve 12x plus 6 less than 0 for x less than minus half. So, what do you say? It's concave up for x greater than minus half and concave down for x less than minus half. Let's see. Question 8. We said, yes, you have to find, okay, this is what we got. Yeah, by the way, it's preferable that you say 12 times minus 3 plus 6. You actually, you find what 12 times minus 3 plus 6 is. Okay? You like find it. And then we said, yeah, concave up for greater than and concave down for less than. Okay. Find question 9. Consider the curve C. This is its equation. If it has exactly one local maximum, give. This was in the quiz. So let's find what, and they want to find the stationary point. That means f prime of x is equal to 0, صح؟ طيب, What is f prime of x? F prime of x is equal to x squared. I'm going to derive fast. Plus 4x minus 77. We're going to equate this to 0. We need to find its roots. So how do we find it? I don't think I can factor this, صراحة. I'm going to do I'm going to use the quadratic formula. Minus b, so minus 4. Plus minus radical b squared, so 77, the 4 squared. Minus 4 times minus 77 times 1, which we don't write, over 2a, so over 2. Fraction minus 4. Okay, 4 squared minus 4 times minus 77 over 2. You get 7 as your first solution. So x equals 7. And your second solution is, it's plus minus, صح? Minus 11. Okay. We need to determine whether it's a maximum or minimum. So you don't really need to find the y. We just need to know if it has maximums or minimums. To see if it's a maximum or minimum, I'm going to derive again. I really, really like the second derivative test. I find it very faster, much faster. So it's going to be derive this one to x plus 4. So محلها, you just substitute fast, see if it's positive, see if it's negative. At 7, it's 2 times 7 plus 4, which is obviously greater than 0. So x equals 7 is local minimum. F prime prime of minus 11 is 2 times minus 11 plus 4, which is obviously less than 0. You have to show the value. So that means x equals minus 11 is a local max. What are they asking? If this curve has exactly one local max, give the x coordinate of its local max. Minus 11. Your answer should be minus 11. Yeah, minus 11 is the only local max. Okay. Question 10. Consider the curve. What's the x coordinate of the point of inflection? Point of inflection means f prime prime of x is equal to 0. Let's see. What is f prime of x first? F prime of x is 5x squared plus 50x minus 48. At this stage, again, I'm deriving fast because خلاص, you should know how to derive. Derive again to find f prime prime of x. 25, 10 x plus 50. Equate this to 0. It's going to be 10x plus 50 equals 0. So x is equal to minus 5. Okay. They want the x coordinate only? Yeah, okay. Very easy. Number 11. The function f is okay, yeah. We can use by comparison, by the way, for this. It's very easy. Really. X squared minus 4x plus c. This is the function. Where c is a non-zero constant and the roots are r and 3r, where r is a constant. Find the values of r and c. When you say the roots of r and 3r, that means in factored form, this equation actually x minus r, x minus 3r. صح? So this equation is the same as this when it's expanded, right? Well, this expanded is x squared minus 3rx minus rx plus 3r squared, which is, let's simplify this, x squared minus 4rx plus 3r squared. So this x squared minus 4rx plus 3r squared is equal to x squared minus 4x plus c. So by comparison, x squared is the same as x squared. Minus 4rx should be the same as minus 4x. Minus 4x. Cancel x with x, you're going to get minus 4r equals minus 4. So you're going to get r is equal to 1. Then you're going to get 3r squared is equal to c. What do we know r is? 1. So 3 times 1 squared equals c. So c is equal to 3. Very, very easy. So r equals 1, c equals 3. They used the way I explained the first time in the CA, in term 1 week 7 CA. They used the sum of the roots. See, this is this is also valid. Yani, this works, but I don't know, the way I used, I feel like this works if it's computer part. If they get you it in written part, use the roots, the sum of the roots. You know that the sum of the roots is minus b over a, and the product of the roots is c over a. So that, oh shit, no. Oh shit, hold up. Minus b over a would be minus 4, sorry, minus 4 over 1, which is 4. So the sum of the roots is 4. So that means, what are my roots? R and 3R. So R plus 3R equals 4. So that means R is equal to 4. 4R, is equal to 4. So R is equal to 1. Right? Minus B over A. Then C over A product, C over 1, is equal to the product of the roots. R times 3R is 3R squared. Can you find R? Can you find C? Yes, you can. We know R is equal to 1. So C over 1 is equal to 3. So, أكيد, because 1 squared is 1 times 3 is 3. So you're going to get C equals 3. Same solution. You can use that as well. Write f of x in factored form. We know that in factored form it's this. And we know that R is 1. So it's going to be x minus 1, x minus 3. And then they said, what is the coordinates of the turning point? Let me erase this because it's a bit annoying. The coordinates of the turning point, we need to find f prime of x equals to 0. What is f prime of x, أول? 2 times 1 is 2, reduced by 1, x, minus 4. That's f prime of x, right? Type, equated to 0, you're going to get x equals 2. What's the coordinate? You need to find the y coordinate of it, right? You can't just put the x. So substitute 2 here, 2 squared minus 4 times 2, plus c, which we found is 3. So you're going to get 4 minus 8, which is minus 4 plus 3 minus 1. 2 comma minus 1. Okay. Well, last question. This one looks calm. You have, this is the function, use the chain rule to find the derivative. How do you find the derivative? Honestly, this is nice. I think this would be something she'd get, like something simple. G2 question. Really, I think she'll get this. Like I told you, I think she'll get this. Maybe this one. Okay, I don't know why. I feel like she's gonna get 7, 12. Either, sorry, 8 or 12, 7, and maybe 5. I don't know. I don't feel like she's gonna. No, not 5. This one here, 4. For like one of these related rate questions. Something from here, I really feel like she's gonna get 7. Wallah, I don't know. I have a feeling. If not those, I don't know. ما بحسها she's gonna get anything from here. Equation of tangent أكيد she'll get one. يعني wait. ما كان في شيء equation of tangent. This one? Yeah, okay, I guess she can get this. G2. Something to do with equations of tangent or normal, she's gonna get one of them. But make sure you know everything, please. Last question, خلاص, let's finish it off. Let's derive this. Since it's chain rule, you derive outside, multiply the one inside. Take 4 down, is going to be x squared minus x minus 12. The power of 3. Multiply the derivative inside, x squared becomes 2x. Minus x becomes 1. 2x minus 1 times 4 is 8x minus 4. X squared minus x minus 12 cube. Part B, they're saying find the coordinates of any stationary points to determine their nature. That means f prime of x is equal to 0. Yani, wow, you just equate this to 0, right? 8x minus 4, x squared minus x minus 12 cube, minus 12, equals 0. So you're going to get two solutions. 8x minus 4 equals 0. So x is equal to half. And you're going to get x cubed minus x minus 12 is equal to 0. So you're actually going to get two solutions here. You're going to get 4 times 3. You're going to get minus 4 x plus 3. If you can use quadratic form now, you're going to get x equals 4, x equals minus 3. Okay, so you're going to get 3 solutions. You can, to determine their nature, you can derive again to find y double prime. But honestly, here to derive again, honestly, I feel like it's too much work. Let's just use the table of sign. Very important to know how to use the table of sign, especially when you come across these types of questions. So you're going to see x, f prime of x plus minus. So, type. What are my x's? Minus 3, half, 4. We know at those points it's 0, and the sign, we don't have any sign. Type. What do? You always take a point before, point after, point before, point after, and determine the sign. Before minus 3, let's take a point, let's say minus 4, and see what's the slope at minus 4. How do you check what's the slope? Just substitute in the derivative. Fast, let's do it. So you're going to put 8 times minus 4 minus 4 times x squared, so minus 4 squared, minus 4 minus 12 power of 3. So you're gonna get 0. Huh. It's minus 4. Because it's minus x. Well, x is minus 4, so minus 4. Whoa, okay. It's a negative, right? So it's gonna be negative, so it's gonna be decreasing. Now, a point between minus 3 and half. Easiest point to take is 0. Oh, I want to hurt. Easiest point is to take is 0. فبسرعة خلينا نغيرهم. Positive. So it's going to be going up. And between 1 over 2 and 4, let's just take like 1. Negative. So going down. And then after 4, let's take like 5. I don't know. That's 6. 6 works as well, يعني عادي. Positive as well. So what does that mean? That means since minus 3 is at the bottom, minus 3 is a minimum, as well as 4. So they said find the coordinates, so let's find the coordinates of all of these. Minus 3 comma 1 over 2 comma 4 comma. Let's see. Put the brackets here. Minus 3, let's find its its y coordinate at that point. You substitute into the original equation, huh? Minus 3 minus 12 power of 4. 0. How about 1 over 2? 0 0.5. This, oh, minus 0 0.5 minus 12. Am I bugging? They kept it like this. Okay, obviously they won't give you a number like this in the exam. But just keep it as 22518.7. I guess just put it like this. 0.7. Keep it like this. And then 4. What a shitty number though. Why would they give you numbers like this? 0 as well. So minus 3 0 is what? Local min. Local min. I'm gonna copy this. It's a local. 1 over 2 is a local max, because it's the highest point, right? And then 4 0 is a local minimum. Let's check this. Studying the sign. La 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 la. It says, for example, what? See, like I told you, they took this. And I didn't even, well, I didn't even read the answer key, and I took this in because these are the easiest points. They just did this. You obtain the following. Okay, so that's it. Make sure to study well. Be prepared for anything to come in the written. Thank you so much for watching, and good luck.